Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez are apparently in talks for a rematch in 26, and my only question is why? Why? Outside of a massive pay. First fight wasn't necessarily a competitive fight, and if they do it again, I think it's going to be less competitive. This is going to go very well for one, Saul.
Canelo Alvarez, even after being dominated in September, still refuses to accept the reality of what happened. He keeps insisting he wants a rematch with Terence Crawford, believing that a healthy arm would completely change the outcome, but experts are begging him to stop. From Eddie Hearn to Antonio Margarito, the message is the same: Canelo is no longer physically able to keep up with Crawford. This isn't just a risky fight, it could be career-ending. If Canelo steps into the ring again with Crawford, he might be walking straight into the end of his boxing journey.
Well, it looks like it's the end of an era. Canelo Alvarez spoke about his retirement plans and has confirmed that the end is near and that his time inside the ring is coming to an end relatively soon. Canelo Alvarez said that he is now in the stage wherein he's also thinking a lot about how he wants to focus as well as enjoy the fruits of his labor, not just for himself but for his family as well. The Mexican fighter who made his professional boxing debut at the age of 15 years old and has been professionally fighting for almost 20 years now said the following, and I quote, "From the age of 28 to 29, this is the age where I have felt best. I've always said that at 37 years old is a good age to enjoy what I have done with my family, other things in my career, and that's what I say. But I said I would debut at 18 and I did it at 15.
Harshest warning is coming from someone inside Canelo's own circle, promoter Eddie Hearn. Promoters usually hype every big money fight, but Hearn has been surprisingly honest about why this rematch is a terrible idea. He revealed a truth Canelo's team has tried to hide for years: Crawford's style is Canelo's kryptonite. According to Hearn, Crawford's footwork, movement, and switch hitting completely shut down Canelo's strengths. It wasn't just a bad night, it was a bad matchup from the start. Hearn hinted that Canelo was ignoring the reality that his legs simply can't match what his eyes want to do anymore, and that denial is pushing him towards serious danger.
I believe they have a rematch clause. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of wording, because Canelo doesn't enter a fight without some kind of wording in terms of a rematch clause. But he's just not going to beat Terence Crawford. It's the style's all wrong for him, the movement's all wrong for him. And that's what I said. You know, going into the fight, I really believed Crawford would win in the style that he did. And then just as it got a bit closer at the weigh-in, I was like, my heart was like, nah, Canelo's got this, you know. And but deep down, I kind of knew that it was all wrong for him. And to be honest with you, Canelo knew it was all wrong for him. You know, I had the conversation with Canelo Alvarez probably, I don't know, a year ago, about Terence Crawford, and he was like, "No, why would I fight Terence Crawford? Like, you know, he hates that style." And when he fought Charlo, I remember him being really disappointed that Charlo just moved and moved and moved, and that's why he ended up fighting Munguia and Berlanga, because they're guys that wouldn't do that and they'd stand in front of him, and that suits him down to the ground. Anyone that's got movement like Skull, like Crawford, like, you know, he really struggles against. And when he was a bit younger and fresher, he could probably get away with it and cut it off, and, you know, but then you see guys like Bivol and, you know, Crawford and these guys beat him because of that movement. And I don't know what he does again. I mean, you know, the biggest money fight out there for him is the rematch with Crawford.
This connects directly to the physical decline analysts are openly discussing. Reports from Sports Illustrated and Fan Nation didn't just say Canelo lost, they said Crawford ate him alive. The main issue? Canelo's knees. After nearly 20 years of fighting, the loss of knee cartilage has turned him into a flat-footed fighter. In his prime, he could cut off the ring with explosive pressure. But against Crawford in late 2025, he looked like he was stuck in the mud. Experts warned that no training camp can fix worn-out joints. Crawford, who moves like a sprinter, controlled the ring easily and made Canelo miss over and over again. The truth is simple: Canelo can't move fast enough anymore to land the punch he needs.
Is it dangerous to Canelo's legacy to lose to the best of this era and the best of the era previously? I don't know. Like, did Canelo ever have an era where he was the best in the world? Maybe that's the question he's still trying to answer himself, and why he would want this rematch with Crawford. But when I see this news coming out of him wanting the rematch, having the elbow surgery, maybe in his mind going, okay, my elbow wasn't fresh, I wasn't able to turn my shots over, so that's why I can win this rematch. I like the competitive nature of it. I don't like the fight for him. I think the matchup's all wrong for Canelo. I think this style of fight, in terms of what Terence Crawford does well, is counterpunching off the front and back foot, his ability to go from range with his jab, be inside with it too, protect himself, catch counter with punches. He's got just a different timing than Canelo really has on his punches, and then you pair it with the volume that Terence Crawford can throw, and his feet, and his angles. This is the bad matchup for Canelo. We've seen it already, and I just don't know if the rematch goes any differently. I think Terence Crawford would have Canelo in real trouble the second time around. And again, I'm not going to sit here and be like, he'd knock him out cold, because Canelo's got an iron chin, but if he didn't already in the first fight, he would do a number. Texas Instruments 83 plus on Canelo if they rematch. I truly believe that, because I think the matchup's all wrong. I think that both guys learned something about the other in that fight, and the guy that took more away as far as data and things to use was Terence Crawford, because what Canelo brought was the best version of him, and it wasn't enough. And if Terence brought the best version of him and it was enough, because I think both guys brought their best version, but the fight played out how the styles will always match up. Canelo is best when a guy will stand in front of him and go upper body movement, planted feet, let's fight exclusively in the phone book. Terence Crawford is at his best when he can dog walk someone, walk the dog on them literally, have them on a leash, walking around the ring, and then planting his feet, throwing, circling, feinting off the back foot, then coming back, counter punches. He has every tool in the shed, and I think skill-wise and stylistically Canelo.
And if the physical problems weren't enough, former world champion Antonio Margarito has added another chilling prediction. Margarito believes the rematch would be even easier for Crawford. He explained what insiders call the solved puzzle theory. Once an elite fighter like Crawford figures out an opponent's timing, rhythm, and patterns, that fighter becomes easy to break down. Margarito said Crawford has already downloaded every detail of Canelo's style, his counters, his feints, his power shots. Since Canelo cannot reinvent himself at this stage of his career, Margarito believes he would be walking into a one-sided beating where Crawford knows every move before Canelo even makes it.
¿Qué me dice de la gran pérdida que tuvo México ahorita ante Terence Crawford en parte de Canelo? Una pérdida muy dura para el boxeo mexicano, pero ¿qué piensa usted de eso? ¿Qué pasó ahí esa noche?
Sí, mira, realmente yo siempre lo he dicho, ¿no? Realmente, mira, yo siempre lo dije que Canelo pues aprendió mucho, y la verdad digo mis respetos, ¿no? Pero creo yo sinceramente pues que Canelo realmente pues escogían rivales para poder que se viera ganador él. Yo sé que arriba del ring no sabemos qué pueda pasar, ¿no? Pero realmente yo creo que no peleó con los mejores para mí, ¿no? Y realmente yo creo que Crawford pues tenía el estilo para ganarle, y sinceramente me han preguntado, y yo pienso realmente que en una revancha le gana más fácil Crawford a Canelo. Digo, desgraciadamente pues es mexicano, ¿no? Y haz de cuenta, a veces pues tengo problemas con los mexicanos, pero realmente yo es lo que yo pienso, ¿no? del boxeo de Canelo.
Yeah, Canelo is a good fighter, and he learned a lot. I knew it was going to be a tough fight, but I knew Crawford was going to win, and I was going for the Mexican because I'm Mexican, of course, but Canelo used to choose his fighters, but this time he couldn't do that.
In the rematch, he thinks Crawford can beat him easier, huh?
Yeah, I think it's going to be easier for Crawford to beat him.
Yeah.
Now the warnings are getting personal. Tension between both camps has reached a boiling point, especially because of Crawford's head trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre. Bomac isn't just telling Canelo not to take the fight, he's threatening what will happen if he does. After the first fight, Bomac was caught on video shouting.